Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tony 2.0, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a Noobs Guide to League of Legends. Today's champ, we are going to cover GangPlank. For myself, I tend to gravitate towards the champs that have a lot of poke. And I always see people playing GangPlank or have GangPlank play against me, and I'm like, damn, what is this ability that is just wrecking me? Why am I getting half of my life or three-quarters of my life taken away? And that got me into playing Gangplank. And after seeing a few friends do very well with him, I decided let's go ahead and try it. And he's turned out to be quite a bit of fun to play. Gangplank, for the most part, I play him top lane. I guess he could go mid as well, but he, for the most part, with me, stays top lane. Gangplank is an AP champ, and so that's some of the things that you will be focusing on when it's time to start playing finally. Gangplank takes a little bit to get going. He right off the bat, he's very dependent on his Q. The main reason for that is similar to someone like Nasus. You're going to Q farm. You're going to wait for those minions to get down to the last hit and either run up to melee them or hit your Q and just Q it out. In the early goings, his parlay, which is his Q, does take quite a bit of mana, and so you got to be careful with that. He is a melee champ that does have lots of range ability on him because of that parlay and his ultimate. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, you just said he has, both melee and range. Well, the primary offense ability that he uses throughout the whole game is his Q, the parlay. This is a massive damage giver. Essentially, this is one of the only things that actually uses AD for Gangplank. Everything else you're going to really you want to use, you're going to build him AP. One of the big reasons for that is W ability removes scurvy is benefited by AP, so you're going to kind of get a little bit of both. The other thing that really focuses on that, his ultimate takes plus 20% of all of your AP, so you don't want to build AD on him. For the most part with Gangplank, the most vital thing is to build crit from the start. Crit and attack speed. Those are your main things to focus on. So let's run down Gangplank. First and foremost, his passive ability is called Grog Soak Blade. Gangplank's auto attacks infect their targets for 3 seconds, dealing 3 damage plus 1 for every level of magic damage per second, and then slowing by 7%. This effect actually stacks, and it's good, and it's dealing up to 9 damage plus 3 levels, so it can be very effective, especially finishing someone off who pushes a little bit too hard in the lane. Moving on down to his Q that we've talked about previously. Parlay. Gangplank uses the pistol in his hand, targets that enemy, and deals massive physical damage. This is your main thing. It's a poke machine, and it can get you out of trouble when late game, especially because it does quite a bit of damage, and champs get awfully scared of it. Moving on to the W, it's called Remove Scurvy. This is a heal. Basically, Gangplank eats a mound of citrus fruits and he heals himself. It ranks up in scales as you go through the levels. This is very good for his survivability. At some points, Gangplank, we can call him Tankplank. If you need to in a pinch, you can start throwing some tanky items on him, and he actually does quite well. His E ability is Raise Morale. The passive ability for this is great. Gangplank's attack damage and movement speed are increased permanently, and that helps out quite a bit, especially early to mid game when you're trying to get your farm down. And then when you activate it, Gangplank fires into the air, disabling his passive boost, but inspiring himself to gain an additional attack damage and movement speed. This is one of those things that I haven't really mastered how to use it yet, but if you are moving into finish someone off, using Raise Morale to buff that is obviously, it's good because your attack speed is up. That brings us into his ultimate, the Cannon Barrage. This is a global. This is awesome. The range on this thing is global. He signals his ship to call in a cannonball barrage, and it can be targeted anywhere on the map. This is one of my favorite things to use, and in the gameplay you'll see me use this ability throughout the map. When a champ gets very low and then they go hug the turret and get to and then they're going to back, I love to call this thing in. Or calling in it to help out teammates from top lane when they're mid or bottom. You can use this ability to get in there and not only one, get some kills, but assist your teammates as well. GangPlank is pretty formidable. And like I said, you're going to want to focus on those crit. Crit and attack speed are the two most important things that I have found. And for the thing that you're going to start off with every single time, I don't care who tells you this, the only way to start GangPlank is with a static shiv. I've been yelled at multiple times for trying to do other builds. The static shiv is the way to go. He sees such a benefit from it. It's well worth your time, especially early laning phase. Guys, GangPlank is 3150 as far as the IP goes, or 790 if you're an RP. I love his skins as well. He's a fantastic. He's just a fun champ to play. Once you start throwing that global all around, he's just a good champ, and I don't think he gets enough love. He is a little bit squishy, so that's something to remember. After you get mid to late game, you're going to want to put a little bit of health on him after you've got most of your damage all sorted out. But guys, go check out GangPlank. Leave it down, comments down below. Let me know if this was helpful. Or come back and tell me after you've used him and tell me what you think. I got more of these Noobs guides coming out in the very near future. We're going to go with Akali. I think I'm going to get Akali, then Blitz, then Warwick Jung, because I have been using those guys pretty regularly, and I'm getting used to playing them. Thank you guys again. Subscribe if you're new for more of this content, and like this video for me. Later, guys.